This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
Beers in the Lot is partnered with the Hockey Podcast Network.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Beers in the Lot. Before we get going, let me just remind you about our shop at beersinthelot.com/shop. That's where you can get t-shirts and other merchandise with Beers in the Lot logos on it. Also, check out beersinthelot.com for anything else you might be curious about this podcast. And be sure to join the Discord at beersinthelot.com/discord. So, for episode 169, nice, we talked about our trip to Johnstown. It's always a highlight every year, and this year did not disappoint. From enjoying the local watering hole at Scotts By Dam to story time with Coach Bruce Boudreau and winning just enough, this year was another one for the ages. So let's get to it and crack the beers.
Wow. That was spectacular.
It was too loud for a Monday night, especially after what we went through. But how we doing, gentlemen? How we feeling?
Feeling all right, honestly. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, feel
Yeah.
good.
I think the skate last night helped.
Definitely.
Totally.
What are we drinking this evening, Aaron?
I'm drinking from Stonebridge Brewing Company in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. A Mexican lager by the name of No Way Jose. It's got some cool can art, too, actually.
Little sugar skull on there.
Oh, sure, skull. Nice picture of the Stone Bridge in Johnstown on there, on the logo for the Stonebridge Brewing Company. It's tasty. Tasty little Mexican lager. I think I already know, but what do you have tonight, John?
Oh, No Way Jose just exploded all over my computer mat, but yeah. I'm drinking that too. It wasn't the first time this weekend I spilled beer accidentally, so we're good. You know, chugging along, I'm keeping the status quo rolling on Monday. But yeah, you and I, same thing at the bar. Daniel, what do you have?
Yeah, I had the same thing. No Way Jose Mexican lager. And it's good. I like it.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at
Riggs,
all.
I can kind of guess.
It appears that I have No Way Jose as well.
Yeah,
And this is good. And the other beer that we had there, what was it, Main Squeeze or something like that?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good. And I don't know what Aaron had there, but it was
Aaron had the
probably
brown.
I had a J-Town Brown.
Yeah,
J-Town Brown.
Yeah. It was actually pretty good. It was tasty.
good. I don't know about that name, but yeah.
Yeah. Riggs left his own J-Town Brown in the
Well, let's not.
Come on, that's a little over the line. Come on, we're not that kind of podcast.
No, the
Aaron.
beer
You
was
didn't
delicious.
have to do that.
Actually. The beer was really good. And
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the name, but it was good.
Yeah.
We did a sticker swap with them as well.
Yeah. Put the sticker up on the pole. They put it
High
on
up
the
on the
top.
pole too. Yeah, high up on that damn pole.
Yeah.
So by chance you ever go there, notice.
Yeah. Go looking for that Beers in the Lot sticker, the big B up on the top of the pole.
Yeah, and then our legacy logo, I believe.
It'll be like a scavenger hunt. If you go there and get a picture of it,
Yeah.
we'll send you a sticker.
Yeah, definitely. So first we need to address something. So we're recording in our normal Monday evening time slot.
Mhm.
Is there something off about this? Just curious.
Well, well, you see,
things were happening way too fast
yes,
over the weekend.
as sometimes happens, we had zero time.
To sum it up, best, I believe Rick James told Charlie Murphy one time, "I'm sorry, Charlie Murphy, I was having too much fun." And I think that's kind of what happened.
Pretty much.
I'm not upset though.
That is
No.
entirely accurate. And
No.
I'm
No,
honestly
because
not upset.
we had fun.
Yeah, we have another round of great stories from Johnstown as always. And yeah, it was freaking awesome. So
Every time we go. Yep.
Aaron, tell us about some of your highlights from this weekend.
I mean, we spent we spend a lot of time at Scott's by Dam at the bar, and anytime we're doing that, we're it's just endless fun there. Scott is phenomenal. He's we brought along some rookies, and one of the rookies found himself in the bar before we did, and he said that Scott was already like laying into him and just giving him loads of shit right from the start. And we assured him that means you're in.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. When you call him Cletus?
I call him Cletus.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of cool. We've mentioned that place several times when we talk about Johnstown, and like, it's a small town bar. He may not always remember your name. I think this time he'll remember my name clearly because he harassed me so much.
He
But when I
remembers the
walked-
person, though.
Exactly. He remembers the
person.
face and the
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
But I remember when I walked in with one of the rookies, actually, because I was like, hey, I'm going to drop my bag and the jerseys at the rink, and then let's go for a pop. And he's like, yeah, awesome. So I did that, walked in, and he goes, hey, how the hell are you? I was like, oh, good. He's like, you're back for the tournament this year? I was like, yeah, we didn't do it last year with some scheduling stuff, but we decided to come back. He goes, welcome back and welcome home. And I kind of joked. I was like, yeah, I plan to be here all weekend. Here, meaning the bar. Yeah. Yeah. So we definitely were. So it was awesome. I love it as always.
And you could tell he loves that. He loves that atmosphere. He loves the bar being packed. He loves just, I don't know, serving everybody and just having a good time.
And he interacts and he talks to people. And you
Yeah.
can even see, like, that's whether you're in town for a tournament or just staying there, whatever, or like you're a local that goes to eat there all the time or just goes there for your local watering hole.
Right.
Like, we say it all the time and we 100% mean it. Go to your local
Yeah.
watering holes when you're in town. Find a local spot that a bunch of people go to and just
Love that
enjoy
place.
yourself. Yeah, enjoy
Find-
yourself.
The local family-owned businesses
Yeah.
and
It-
go to those places because one, they're the coolest people, and two, like, they're the best places, and you're supporting like the real shit, not some chain garbage,
Right.
Olive Garden bullshit. Like,
Ugh.
yeah, exactly.
What garbage Italian dining Olive Garden is.
Yeah.
It's nothing like the meal we had on Friday night.
Oh.
True.
Oh.
Well, we had bread and oil.
We did.
True, authentic.
Oh, that oil
Italian.
is so good, dude.
That's also where Eric and I's healthy scratch started on Saturday. Or
Is
healthy
that a
scratch for
highlight
Saturday.
and a low light?
No, it's all high. I have 0 lows. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Eric, we played
Well,
our game
when
Friday
you-
night.
When you share
Go.
2 bottles of wine, I mean,
We had a
between
good
the two
time,
of you,
man.
Well,
That's
that was
really-
that was the appetizer for the night.
that was to start the night.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
that was a bad choice.
That's only like 4 glasses a piece, dude. That's not like
Yeah.
it's not a lot of wine.
It wasn't a mega pint. We're not Johnny Depp.
Mega
Yeah.
pint.
We're not pounding mega pints here. We just had normal.
No. We poured them normally.
Eric and I were in the locker room on Friday night. We finished our game. We were kind of sluggish that game, so whatever. So we're in the locker room, about to get in the shower. Eric goes, "Oh man, I can't wait!" And I look over. I was like, "Hey, you gonna have a bottle of wine at dinner? You want to split one?" And he goes, "Yeah, let's split a bottle of wine at dinner." And we're like, "Hell yeah!" So, and then I think we had like 2 or 3 more beers before we even got there. But yeah, so it was great.
Well, and then we went to Scott's after.
And then went to
dinner at
Scott's.
Asiago's.
And had gallons of alcohol and shots and
Just
Yeah.
1 million beers.
yeah.
And screaming and yelling until 2:30 in the morning.
That was Friday night.
No,
Oh, you're talking
And Saturday.
that was
Yeah,
Friday night.
that,
yeah,
that was just Friday night. We
Yeah.
did it again on Saturday.
We did.
different situation though.
Yes.
Yeah. Saturday, I think the biggest thing was Eric and I did not. We made a decision for the team. I think they would play better
Mm-mm.
without us. We were.
I could give 2 shits about the team. I was.
Yeah,
was
you know what? I'm on that
complete-
boat now. Fuck the team. You're right.
It was complete self-preservation and injury prevention
Yeah.
for myself.
No, you know what? We're NBA
You were-
players. We're practicing load management.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna
exactly.
skip this game.
You guys
I'm
are
skipping this
unhealthy
game.
scratches.
Yeah,
Healthy scratches.
we're contract holdouts. Yeah. So Eric and I health bombed ourselves because we were more important than the team. And then we actually got to do, I would think, like kind of one of the cooler things. We as like a group / those who also were there, like we talk about hockey nerds and like great stories and how we like those people and how we love being around those people. We got to meet one of those people. It was very cool.
Named.
I don't want to talk the entire time. Somebody else jump in.
No, you literally had to say 2 more words.
I didn't want to. I want somebody else to say it. Saving my voice. Load management.
Yeah, meeting Bruce Boudreau was pretty awesome. What else do you have to say about it, John?
Well, no. The cool thing about Bruce is, like I said, like some of the stories he was getting into and some of like the little tidbits that you definitely can't get from kind of your everyday beat writers, or you kind of have to get essentially from those who are providing the information or like in it day to day. So right before he went to Johnstown, I think it was a Thursday or Friday, Nick Backstrom stepped away from the team. Today it was announced he's going to be on LTIR the rest of the season because of the hip surgery he had in the offseason. He's not kind of where he's at right now, but Boudreau kind of, just in talking about his time with the Capitals before he went to the other teams, just started to go in on Backstrom and how out of all the players he coached, he's one of his favorite guys. Felt horrible for him, feels gutted, and said, I think whatever comes out about his injury, there's no one that probably hates this more than Nick. He's like, he wants to skate every day. So the fact he can't do it at his level, it's probably really hard for him. That was like in the first like 5 minutes of him talking, he started doing that before he even got into Johnstown or anything else. That was one of the first things he just kind of went off in a spider web and started talking about. That was a great little tidbit right off the bat.
Yeah, it was definitely cool. Cool to get his thoughts on all of that immediately. Like that was, like you said, you hear people who are just immersed in the entire NHL scene, and it's just so cool to hear them just talk their mind. I think at one point he was talking about, I think it was his time in Vancouver and like when something happened, and he like rattled off like the 10 games before this thing that happened, like what team they played and how that team was doing. And then after the thing that he was talking about happened, and then the 5 games after, and I remarked to John, I was like, how does he remember all these games that happened like 5 years ago or something?
The thing that happened was he got fired.
Well, yes,
and
he got fired.
He knew
Yeah.
he knew the date he was going to get fired based on the upcoming schedule, and he knew that they were not going to play well against those teams because they were facing like Edmonton and Colorado, when they were hot during that season. So he knew that, okay, we're gonna go through this stretch, and I'm gonna get fired after this Edmonton game. And they played it and they lost, and he had already invited everyone over to his house, all the team staff and the cool people basically around the office, so to speak, to come over to have a party after the game. And he got the call at midnight. Hey, GM is calling, be in his office at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So he knew, right? Just based on the schedule. I think that's what it means to be a pro in hockey. Actually, that all of those details, right? And you're so hyper focused and aware on all of the details, right? And you have that type of memory. Like, I think that's what it means to be a pro. Like at coaching, player, executive, whatever. I think that's what it means to be in pro hockey.
It kind of reminded me of a scene from Moneyball when Brad Pitt's character is telling Jonah
Billy
Hill's
Bean.
character. Yeah, Billy Bean's telling Jonah Hill's character to like go fire this guy or send him down or whatever. And then Billy Bean says, "No, he's a pro. He's just gonna, say okay, see you, thanks," and then it's over. And it was just really interesting because that's basically what Boudreau described. Is that
Yeah.
at that level, it's like this is business, and this is how it works. He knew exactly how it works to the point that he could pick the exact day and win a pool that he had with his other coaches about
Yeah.
the day he would get fired.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely amazing. He knew it was coming so well that not only did he was he involved in a pool about it, he also won the pool. Like that's incredible.
Well, I thought there were like the one thing after all that, and yes, he's in his late 60s. So I think when you're at that age, you can, you have some qualities after living quite a life like he had. It's like he's very self-aware, even to the point when he talked about his time in the minors, and he was like a prolific AHL scorer. And at the NHL, I think he was like almost a half a point a game guy, but just never stuck. And he said, maybe if I took some of my training a little harder, didn't go out as much. Like he even touched on it when everyone came into town in Slapshot to film and everything. Paul Newman apparently said something like, "Man, you should take this a little more seriously," which is kind of funny because like you always hear stories of Paul Newman partying prolifically and stuff when he was filming and all that. But to have that self-awareness as he
Johnny,
is now what
you and I could have used that advice on Friday night.
Maybe you guys should take this a little more seriously.
You know what though? I think Bruce would have been like, "You guys are having a time. Just enjoy it. We come once a year. It's fine." No, funny you mentioned that, but no, it was just cool. Like he had that like really good perspective of just like being in the game forever, and it's not just a game. Like it's a lifestyle. It's a something he chose to do. And some of the other little stories, like Danny, do you have a highlight of that from kind of
the
Bruce talking?
Boudreau?
Yeah,
I
just him
liked
talking.
all the stuff that he was talking about the filming of the Slapshot movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, when they said they did the take of the guy who pisses himself behind the net, and they did it like 13 times, and every time they kept hitting him harder.
Yeah,
I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, he also dropped another tidbit that I didn't know. There's a scene when I guess they're filming in Reg's apartment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's trying to take the nap before the game.
Yeah.
Right, trying to take a nap before the game.
When he put the bounty on McCracken's head. Yeah.
And apparently what they did was they said, "Okay, guys," like they just kind of opened it up to whoever was there. They said, "Who's got the dirtiest, messiest apartment in Johnstown?" And everybody pointed at Bruce. So that apartment, Reg Dunlop's apartment in the movie, is actually Bruce Boudreau's apartment in real life at the time. Thought that was a cool
great
tidbit. Never heard that before. And Bruce even said, he said, yeah, when they were filming a couple of scenes, he would just stand on either side of either post, because he knew that that's what the shot was going for. So he knew he'd be in the movie. So he just literally positioned himself to be sure he'd be in the movie. He said he was just skating from one post to the other.
I will say this though, that we kind of had a chuckle about it. If you're ever in a scenario where you can, in an open-ended forum, ask questions, think about your question before you ask it, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Run it by a buddy who you would think is like very kind of headstrong and can tell you no. Just want to throw that out.
Just literally think about what the possibilities of the answer could be. If it's a guy like Bruce, like if it's a guy who's just got endless stories, then don't ask him a yes/no question.
Correct.
Like,
that's just
Bingo.
brutal. Stop.
Like, hey, did you ever meet Mario? Okay, that's a yes or no question. Okay, you're not gonna get a good answer.
Yeah,
Just
you're going to
saying.
get yes or no. And
Right.
then, okay, what does that tell you?
Next
It's
question.
silly.
Stop.
Next question. That was a really,
Stop.
really awkward question that was asked.
Always ask open-ended questions so that the person has to tell a story, and then you get the good stuff. So
Yeah.
Right.
Just yes or no. Like, come on. Like, let's figure this out here.
Did you ever meet Mario?
I mean, I even joked. I'm like, yeah, this is Tom from Castle Shannon. You didn't ever meet Mario. Like, I was like, come on, man. I'm like, please. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, actually, the one question I did want to ask him prior, somebody else kind of asked it in a way and he touched on it, which is great. And it was just more about the 2011 Winter Classic and going from hockey's kind of this closed environment. What's it like all of a sudden from this date to this date, you're going to have cameras everywhere? How do you feel about that? And he kind of just said, he's like, I liked how he kind of made the comment. He's like, it was weird because it just made it seem like we were so depressed and downtrodden the whole time. And then Pittsburgh's this happy, shining environment. Like I mean, yes, obviously, did Washington have a losing streak heading into that? Yes. But right before the Winter Classic, it actually flipped. Pens were on a 2-game skid. Caps won like 3 or 4 or something. So it was changing, but they didn't cut it that way for the show. Like they showed the results, but yeah.
The best was when he was like, the Christmas scenes
Yeah,
where
yeah.
like Dan Bilesman and his wife are having like this nice candlelit Christmas dinner, sharing
He's wearing a
a
suit.
bottle of wine.
He said he's wearing a suit
at home.
Yeah. Which he
With all
wasn't.
this-
He was wearing jeans and a button up. I remember it because I rewatched it.
and then
And he said
you know,
he's eating like spaghetti or something.
no, he was feeding
Yeah.
spaghetti to the dog,
Oh, yeah,
or to
feeding
the
spaghetti
cat
to the
under the
dog,
table
yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I can't remember because I
I
do
was like-
remember that scene.
Yeah.
That was so great.
But it's just awesome. Like,
And then we got to take a photo with him, which was awesome. So we were kind of waiting. I come up. I had like my USA Hockey Labatt blue hat on, so I go to the side of him because there's 4 of us, obviously. So just for synergy, it looks great. And he goes, "Oh no, you can get in front." So I did, and he was like playing with a little palm on my head. And then I even said, "Thanks, Dad." And then we ended up getting another picture after, just like a little better one. But yeah, I mean, just a great guy. He was talking to everybody, and I do say this about some, like when you meet, athletes and celebrities and whatnot, like sometimes you could tell the ones that genuinely enjoy doing that stuff versus the ones that kind of do it just kind of to do it. He genuinely enjoyed coming in, talking hockey, talking stories, being around the game, meeting people, everything.
So when I was walking over to the arena when I didn't play
During our
I was-
game, yeah.
during the game. So I got up and I got cleaned up and took a shower, got dressed. I go downstairs to the lobby, and he was down there because he was staying in the same hotel, right? So he was already down there, and there was a circle around him in the lobby. So I grabbed some of the hotel coffee in the lobby. I joined the circle and listened to them start telling stories to the guys that were standing around there for like 10 minutes. And then I was like, okay, I got to go over and see the guys. But he didn't have to do that part.
Yeah.
Right. Like he wasn't getting, he got paid. Right. But he wasn't getting paid for that part.
Right.
When he got off the elevator and there were some people there that probably said, hey, and then they just started talking. Right. So you could tell, to John's point, that he definitely enjoys talking about the game so much that he'll just stop and talk to anybody about it. And
Yeah, I don't know how many times he said, "Oh, I want just one more story." Just
Wait,
one
one
more
more story.
I got one more story.
for you.
Yeah, it reminds me of a story. I got one more. All right, I don't know how many times he said that when he was talking.
I did love his little quick little snippet about how he follows the NHL very closely, and I won't say the teams or anything, but he kind of mentioned, he's like, "Oh, I kind of hope this team doesn't do so hot in this stretch, because maybe it would open up interest for him getting hired again," which was kind of cool. So like you could tell, and I mean, that's the other thing I got out too. Like and I remember hearing this last year too. Like he genuinely feels like he still has more to give to the game, and I'm 100% certain he does. Like I'm not getting on the soapbox for the guy because I'm sure he has an agent and he'll do much better.
Well, we've talked
work than I do,
about
but
it before. I mean,
I think
we're a pro podcast for him.
Yeah, we're pro Bruce.
Pro Bruce.
Yeah, pro Bruce.
Yeah.
When he walked in, I did say, Bruce, there it is.
Yeah.
I did start
that.
that.
It kind of got
it
going
kind of caught on. Yeah, I was like
yeah.
very happy about that. But he did kind of drop something, and I won't go fully into it because I don't know how much he wants it out there. But he was like, "Yeah, I was gonna write a book, but I'm gonna hold off for a little bit. I kind of want to be involved in the game for a good bit." So he did one book, Gabby, already, which had some great stories in it. I have a feeling the second one's gonna be much, much better. I have an odd feeling. So can't wait for that.
Yeah. If he's going to drop that in the coming stretch of years here, then that's on the radar. I'm going to definitely get a read on that.
I mean, there's a team in Edmonton right now that's very offensively gifted, and they're not playing too hot. I don't think he wants a job in San Jose, but
no. No.
I don't think he wants that job.
I don't think anybody wants a job.
Yeah, I
in
don't know.
San Jose.
Yeah.
This is the Johnstown Slapshot Cup podcast, but San Jose is in dire straits right now. They're a terrible hockey team.
20 goals against the past 2 games.
20 goals against in 2 games. Oh. Anyway,
that hasn't even been done in OFBG.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, a team. So. I'm saying
highly doubtful.
A team has not gotten a 10 spot dropped on them twice in a row. A team has probably scored 10 plus. Because I remember one season in a team I was on, we averaged 9.5 a game.
I'm gonna question you on this.
I'd say look at the stats, but I don't think they're accurate. So
of course they're not accurate. Time out for just a second while we hear about our sponsors. We'll be right back. The NFL season is going strong, and DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking new customers up with an offer that's even stronger. Bet $5 on any game this week to score $200 instantly in bonus bets. And DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game day this October. Get in on the game day greatness. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet $5 on the NFL. That's code THPN only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, Louisiana. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources.
It might be early to start decorating for the holidays, but it's never too early to start your holiday shopping. Why not start well before Black Friday? Right now, you can shop Raycon products and save up to 50% off during their early Black Friday sale. You've heard me talk about Raycon's earbuds before, specifically their most comfortable fit. Well, this past year, Raycon expanded their entire business with the introduction of Raycon Home and Raycon PowerTech. Their 5-star reviewed Magic 180 cable allows you to charge all of your devices 8 times faster with 100-watt power delivery. And their Faucet Filter Ultra filters the water in your tap against chlorine and heavy metals. To get everyone in the holiday shopping spirit a bit early, Raycon is currently offering 20% off everything on their site with select products up to 50% off. Hurry now to buyraycon.com/THPN to get 20 to 50% off site-wide. That's buyraycon.com/THPN to score up to 50% off Raycon products. buyraycon.com/THPN.
Anyway, let's fast forward. So Saturday, kind of run around. We end up back at Scott's, of course.
Of course.
Weird.
As we do.
And some of the listeners are probably curious. Why did we throw up a poll randomly on Saturday?
Well, no, the poll said settle a bar debate for us. And then, is it Charlie McAvoy or Adam Fox? Who's better? Better NHL defenseman.
I mean, I think Boston's winning 2-0 right now. I think that proves our point. He's suspended. They're doing pretty well against Dallas.
Well without him.
I don't know. Yeah, they're doing fine without him. No, we had someone who was arguing against 8 other guys that Charlie McAvoy was better than Adam Fox. So it was a 2-hour ordeal followed by another 2 hours of jokes, making him the butt of them. It was fantastic.
And I'm pretty sure he's that's going to be the joke from now on.
Yep.
Oh,
Anything
yeah.
goes wrong, it's that's some Charlie
yeah.
McAvoy level play there.
I can't wait. I can't wait till we play against him in OFBG.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be too good. And then even, Scott, apparently 2 of us missed our game, but only one was told to Scott that they missed the game. So I got all the butt end of those jokes that I let my team down and whatnot.
No, I told them.
Oh, it was just,
I told him.
He
I
just
told
has
him,
more fun making fun of you.
Right.
Yeah,
I told
probably.
him the whole story. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we missed. But then someone who was in the bar late, he pulled a Charlie McAvoy. He may have thought he was suspended because he didn't play Sunday either.
He didn't play Sunday in Johnstown or at OBG.
Yeah.
Mhm. There are a few others on that list. That's not right.
Adam Fox would never.
He would
Yeah,
never.
Adam Fox wouldn't do that.
No.
We finished our Sunday. We went to Eaton Park after the game. We did exactly what we needed to do. We had a close game, didn't win,
Yeah.
so we didn't have to play in the championship, which is great.
I got to tell the story though. Daniel and I were coming down the elevator of the hotel checking out, and a couple of guys were in the elevator like, "Oh, you play later?" I'm like, nah, we finished our game a little bit ago. And they
No, I said, thankfully not.
oh yeah, thankfully not. We don't have to play later. They were like, "Wait, did we just play you guys? Like, are you guys this team or what?" And yeah, we just played. And they said, "Oh, you guys were supposed to win. We don't want to play later." And I said, "No, everything happened exactly as it was supposed to. Good luck, you guys."
Yeah.
That's right.
Hopefully you win. Have fun staying till 4.
Fly the banner.
Well, the banner.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Exactly. And then a bunch of us went to Eaton Park, which is awesome. And there was this gentleman who him and his wife asked us, "Oh, are you guys hockey players?" And we all just kind of looked around and
I like Eric's answer.
yeah,
What did you say, Eric?
Sorta.
we've been accused of that.
We do put on hocky gear and go try to chase a puck around an ice rink. Yes,
if
we
you
do.
see still photography of us, you would think that. Yeah.
It was funny when Bruce was talking. He kept on talking about us playing or our
Yeah.
leagues playing. He said, "I'm
Yeah.
seeing some of you guys waddle around out there, and this is not the speed of play I'm used to."
Yeah, I know. Well, and someone did ask, like, "Hey, Bruce, what are you doing at 5:00 for our game?" He's like, "I'm not that desperate." Like, I was like, "Yeah." So he likes to have a little bit of fun with it. I did like Bruce too. Like, he was touching on some of the players that he coached, and some of the players, like, it wouldn't be the ones you necessarily kind of think of right off the bat. Like, you mentioned Tom Wilson in Washington and kind of said, like, an interesting way, like, if he's not playing on the edge, that's not a player you necessarily need. You need him doing what he is. And Bruce is like an offensive minded coach. He's not sending guys out there to fight, but he realizes that a guy like Tom doing what he can, like, that's beneficial to the team. When he's out there hard on the forecheck, making defenders and some offensive players like question a lot of their decisions because they're afraid of the consequences.
Yeah, you're like, where is he?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's,
Exactly.
That's what Bruce basically was saying. He said if the other team's not worried about Tom and essentially calling it out, like, "Hey, Wilson's on the ice," like if they're not saying that, if that's not the mindset of the other team, then Wilson is less effective than he could be. And I thought that I agree with you. That was an interesting tidbit he gave there. But yeah, he talked about a few players too. He talked a lot about Nick Backstrom, like you said earlier, John. He said Backstrom was his favorite player to coach, and he talked a little bit about Ovi, and the one story he gave about Ovi was that Ovi would come in and say, "Coach, let's look at video," and then Bruce would have, a couple of things like, "Okay, here's what you did this wrong. You could have done this better," and that so on and so forth. And Ovi would sit there and watch the video very intently, and then do absolutely none of it.
No, my favorite part about that was like when he got hired by Washington out of Hershey, right? So he comes in the first game, and before that, like the team was not doing well, and they had all these young stars that were starting to come into their own. They had Backstrom buried on the fourth line.
He's playing with Brashear.
With Donald Brashear. Like, it was such bullshit. So, Boudreau comes in and basically says, fuck it. We're changing everything.
Yeah.
Like, everything's changing. And I'm changing the power play. We're changing all these things. All the lines are different. Backstrom plays with Ovi, and I'm always the guy that says, if you're a coach and you're not playing 19 with 8, if 19 is healthy, then you should be fired anyway. So, like, I think that comes from like that time in the team's sort of path. But so he puts Mike Green in a one-time spot on the power play, puts Ovi in the bumper spot, and everybody was like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Including all the players. And it works in the game. And he goes up and down the bench and he's like, look, guys, I do know what I'm talking about. Like, and I'm sitting there listening to that. Like, you know what? I have that moment like at least once a week with the kids. Like,
trust me. You gotta buy in.
That drill that we've done 100 times actually worked. Holy crap.
You finally did the thing that we're asking you to do, and it worked. Imagine that. Like, so it's just, all those like common things through the game. It's fun to see that it doesn't matter the level. Everybody deals with the same stuff as a player, as a coach, like whatever. It's just the magnitude's different. So it's cool.
The one other thing that he did share too, when right before he got fired from Washington, I forget what the exact situation was, but Ovi was having a terrible game, and the score was close, like it was a goal or so, and then they did 6-on-5, and Bruce didn't play Ovechkin. I forget who he said he sent out instead, but he sat Ovi for a shift and sat him for that critical moment of the game, and it was the first time in Ovi's career, I guess, that he had he'd been sat for a shift or something like that. And I think that Bruce said they went on to win the game in overtime or something like that. I think Ovi had an assist on the game.
Ovi won it, didn't he?
I think I think Bruce said he had an assist on it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or had a point on the game winner.
Right.
But he was involved in the win, yeah. So it clearly did exactly what coaches do that for, to try to spark, like, hey, you're not playing well.
Right.
Just think about it and figure it out and so on. And it seemed to work. But he very soon after that got fired from Washington. And then it was like immediately the same day he got the new job offer from Anaheim.
Yeah.
And the decision was based solely on the fact that he had the guts to bench Ovechkin. And everybody was kind of like when it happened initially, he said that the media, like the presser after the game, was like, why'd you bench Ovechkin? Not, we had a great comeback and eventually won the game or whatever, but you benched Ovechkin. And that's what the media was all concerned about. And then it led to him getting a new job within hours of losing the job at Washington. I thought that was a really interesting story.
That takes coconuts, though. Like,
Right?
there's a lot of coaches out there, like, they sit star players for the wrong reasons, I think. Now, like, that one was a one-off situation, so I'm sure there was something else going on besides that. But, like, when you do that, especially because he mentioned everywhere pretty much he went, he kind of, not as clear as Vancouver, but he had ideas that something was happening behind the scenes. Like, so especially when you know something's happening and you're still going to stick to your guns and your mantra, like, I respect that, especially in, like, professional coaching.
Well,
whether
yeah,
it's hockey or anything, like,
Yeah,
because it's so scrutinized.
They went it because he thought he was going to get fired that summer because they got bounced.
The playoff success, yeah.
Yeah, they got bounced, right? So he thought he was going to get fired after that series. I guess that was 2011, and he didn't. And then they come in the beginning of the season and they go on that the franchise record-breaking winning streak to start the season. Then they go into November and shit the bed. So Thanksgiving rolls around, which is the magic time for NHL head coaches to get fired. They all get fired that week. If they're going to get fired early in the season. And by that time they were 13-8. They started the season like 11-0 or whatever the streak was. So they went on a terrible run in November. So that was basically the excuse then, right?
Yeah.
It was the run, and Ovechkin's not going, but you still benched him. Everything was not right at that point. So it, and he knew. So
What I kind of think too after listening to Bruce, and maybe this is just me thinking about it now that I had a few days to dissect it. Two of the best coaches in Washington Capitals history were only there for like 4 years apiece.
Yeah.
Trotz and Boudreau. And the three things you hear about all the players and like the people around the team about those two guys, they love the game like no one else, which is very true. Everyone around them loves working with them and for them and like playing with them. And the last thing is they're just good people. Those are the three things you hear about those two guys.
So what I would say though is that I think anybody that is a head coach or even an assistant coach at that level, they all have those qualities except for a few outliers. I think it's actually it's more that they got let go. So people want to say nice things about them because it was a negative thing, right? But I truly think that most of the people that are at that level and in those positions, they all have those same qualities. They all love the game. They all understand it at a depth that very, very few people in the world do. And I think they're all people that everyone wants to work for. They're generally good bosses. So now there are outliers, right? And those are the ones that kind of give everybody else a bad name, I think. And that's why, when Boudreau gets fired, later on, everybody wants to say nice things to kind of separate him from the people that probably deserve to get fired more often than not. Right. I'm specifically talking about Torts, but yeah.
It does make me think. It does in a funny way. Like I think about it more and more, like seeing like kind of how Edmonton's shaping up. And then you think of like all of Bruce's teams, kind of like how they were constructed. And I think of other coaches too. Like I think it's more roster construction sometimes in player performance than it is coaching. But unfortunately, it's much easier to fire a coach than like trade a player, shake some shit up.
The general formula, if you're just looking at numbers, go look at the goalie's save percentage over the period of time right before a coach gets fired.
I actually think up until this brutal 2-game stretch for San Jose's goaltending had better numbers than the Edmonton duo. I mean, obviously, when you get 20 goals hung on you in 2 straight games, like, yeah, no shit.
Whoops.
But yeah, just bad.
It's usually, a save percentage thing or a shooting percentage thing. And those things are like cyclical. So like they'll come back. So what'll happen, right, is like, team's not winning because they're not scoring or they're not getting saves. And then they fire the guy because that's what the only option, because you can't move contracts because of salary cap. And then new coach comes in, might win a game or two, might not. And then generally everything kind of balances back out. And the team is going to perform the way they were going to perform anyway, because you have the same friggin' player personnel. So whatever.
Speaking of
And-
shooting percentage, oh, sorry, go ahead.
And
Continue.
you can't, and a new coach coming in, you can't get, like, if you're going to try new systems or whatever, you can't really do those in the middle of the season. So, because you don't have practice time anymore. There's like no off days. And when you do have an off day, you might not even skate. So it's like, you know, it really doesn't matter. You make these changes in the middle of the season. It's dumb.
Talking about shooting percentage. Apparently, Danny had a weekend for the ages. By the way, we gotta touch on this.
Yeah, let's bring it back to Johnstown here.
Danny, how many goals did you have this weekend?
I had 4.
How many were you credited with, though?
I don't know.
About 70.
Probably
10?
Yeah, I don't know.
15? Apparently, the scorekeeper, I don't know if they mixed up the numbers or something, but like
In the third game,
in the third game,
Yeah, in our
3
yeah.
times the other team scored, and like Danny got a point on it. It was the weirdest thing in the world.
oh yeah,
Oh.
and then I also had an assist when I was sitting on the bench.
Yeah, Daniel and I both had an assist from the bench.
You guys
I
you guys had
changed
a
for
visor.
Drew. Drew's been on the pod before. And I changed for him. He went on and scored. And then he gave me an assist. And Daniel an assist. I don't know. Daniel's my line mate. Like, there's no way that we gave Drew the primary and secondary assist.
He came back when he came back to the bench. I was like, "Hey, Drew, you're welcome."
About that sick dish, Drew. It was pretty funny.
No, that was actually like the first time like I had like a really like a game like that up in Johnstown. I feel like I think I've only scored one other time in the 4 years that I've gone.
You had the hat trick this time.
Yeah.
This is the first year I went.
was a good
I didn't score a goal. I know that. I didn't get shit. I mean, I also only
We
played
definitely
2
didn't
games,
in the
so-
second
Yeah,
game.
definitely
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
So, meh.
No, we had a good group of guys that went, and it was
We really
it was
did.
fun.
Memories for a lifetime.
I think that might have been our strongest team that we iced in our trips to this tournament.
Yeah, we were going up, but we were dangerously close to making the final.
Yeah, I honestly think that the first game could have gone different on any other day. I mean, we
Yeah.
could have won that game. And then the second game, we clearly were the better team. And then our game on Sunday morning, we were semi outmatched, but honestly, that team we
No,
probably could have beat
I don't
them
think
too.
so. I think we could have, if we had decided like we wanted to win that game and go to the final and had
We
done
probably could have.
had done the things to like get ready for that game, we could have murdered that team.
You mean like not drink all night?
Yeah.
No,
We
I
could-
actually think
we could
I
have-
will say
we could have murdered that team.
we
Yeah,
all
I
woke
think
up.
so.
We made
Yeah.
adult decisions on Saturday, which if our mindset was a little better, I actually think we could have.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think because we just said when we sat on the bench, hey, we don't want to do this.
Yeah,
Like let's just
we don't want to play.
we want to get back to playing our Sunday night games. Let's get through it. No one gets hurt.
Yep.
Let's go home in one piece. And then when one of the guys cut it to make it 6-4 with like 2 or 3 minutes to play,
We're like,
we all
"Okay,
started yelling
settle
at
down."
him. Settle the
Yeah.
hell down. What are
That
you
was me.
doing?
That was
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You told me to settle down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't.
Yeah.
You can't do this.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Don't want to do this.
Especially when we later found out that the other team kind of didn't want to win either. I think that they had one guy who had like 4 or 5 of their 6 goals, if not all 6 even. So they might have been yelling at one of their guys to settle down as
Yeah,
well.
it was the guy. It was the guy that the ref pulled out the handshake line to go over to the scores table to make sure his name got written down on the score sheet because he wasn't on the roster. Just
weird.
saying.
Interesting.
Just saying.
Well, it's typical beer league stuff. You know, you send rosters in and no one listens
Well,
anymore. So
So they really didn't want to win. Air
Mhm.
quotes.
yeah.
Right. But they put a dude who's going to score all their goals. Yeah.
Congratulations, you're a beer league hero. I'm proud of you.
But no, yeah, again, as we said before, mission accomplished for us. We had a win, so we had a good game that we felt great about, and we didn't do well enough to make it to the championship game, which meant we got to go home. We got to go home. So we did exactly what we set out to do. Mission accomplished. Fly the banner. Another successful tournament weekend.
Danny, I know Danny and I both wear Garmin watches. Danny, what was your body battery this morning, by the way? Just curious.
This morning. Oh, I didn't check.
What was it?
Hold on, I gotta check.
Mine this morning, we checked it at the bar.
Well,
Danny
you
was
checked
like-
it on Sunday morning, right?
No, we checked it at the bar on Saturday. Danny's was like a 30 something. Mine was an 18.
No, it was 28.
28. Mine was 18.
28.
What's yours on Monday?
Well, right now it's 12. So
Oh, I woke up with a 7.
I woke up.
I've recharged. I had a recovery day according to my watch.
I did a lot of work in the house today. I woke up with a 45.
Oh, all right.
That's not bad.
Good job. Good job,
Rested.
Daniel.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I personally think that I got one of my best nights sleep in Johnstown on Saturday night into Sunday.
Good
Hey,
hotel
we were-
choice.
We had a game at 8:00 in the morning, and I mean, yes, it was fall back, so it felt like 9:00, and we got an extra hour in there. But I was asleep at like 11:30. The Penguins game was not done yet when I fell asleep.
Well, it
and-
did start at 10.
It started at 10, but that's what I mean. It's like it was still
Yeah.
it was 11:30, and I slept on until like it was 7 on the clock or whatever when I woke up, and man. That means that I got 9 hours of sleep.
We
I
do-
definitely have never slept 9 hours in Johnstown.
Eric and I always ask this question. What did you guys watch in your room? The Pens game? Just the Pens game?
had
Just the
Pens.
Pens
Yeah,
game.
Pens game.
Oh, we turned on Twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We literally like it was like 8-1 at this point, and I was like, we could change this. I was like, I know how this movie ends. I was like, we're done.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, this is lame. And then there was a college football game, weren't interested. Next thing, it's like the opening scene of Twins when Danny
Yeah.
DeVito gets arrested.
Yeah.
The opening freaking scene. And I, within like 10 seconds, I'm like, this is Twins, right? He's like, yeah. And then the rest of the night, him and I were quoting Arnold. And talking about how
including when you got up at like 3 a.m. and you were
I had to
fucking-
change the.
you were
It was a
fucking
little
with the
hot in our
AC.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I turned it down. Eric woke up. He goes, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "It was a little hot. I'm just turning it down. You good with that?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then we lay down, and he quotes Dr. Freeze or Mr. Freeze from Batman, and then I say like the line from what was it when he told Benny to chill?
I don't know, but I was like, everybody chill.
Commando man, yeah, yeah. And I was like, "Chill, Benny." Yeah, we were doing it, and we just chuckle and laugh the whole time. That's all we do.
And then immediately fell back asleep.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this one. Thank you for your listen and for your support. We appreciate all of your likes and ratings and reviews and subscriptions on the various podcatchers. Keep them coming. We appreciate every single one of them. I know I speak for the rest of the guys when I say have a good one, and we'll catch you next week when our new episode drops on Wednesday. See ya.